Chapter 9. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Chapter 9, homework number 1. I feel like I don't know who. I guess I hate to say Sean Hannity because he's too right-wing, but I feel like a news broadcaster sitting here at the table. I'm going to read you the news. So, the answers to Chapter 9 homework questions. Homework 1. What is capital budgeting all about? It is about determining what projects to invest in. So businesses want to invest and want to reinvest and need to do these things. And projects include things like buying new property, plant, and equipment, investing in new products and product lines, new products and services, buying part or all of other companies, increasing inventory and accounts receivable, buying assets, and also things like intangible things like training workers. These are projects, these are investments. All right, question 2. What 3 things must a good capital budgeting technique address? First, the time value of money. Second, the risk associated with the investment, the cash flows, the volatility. And third, the dollar amount of value that is created by the project. Those 3 things. What does the payback method compute? And the answer is how long it takes in terms of time to recover the dollar cost of an investment. Okay, question 4. Compute the payback period for the following projects. So, project A, so we have the year, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have, this is project A, and at time 0, 45,000, and 30,000, and 25,000, 15,000, and 10,000. All right, so the payback, let me move out of the way because I know I'm standing right in the way of these numbers. So at the end of year 1, we have 45,000 minus 30,000. We still have $15,000 to go. We spent 45, we took in 30, so that leaves 15 divided by 25,000 equals, so this is 1 year, and this is 0.6 of a year, 1.6 years to pay back for this project. Project 2 costs more up front, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and then bada bing, bada bum, bada boom, a big $100,000. Okay, 90,000 up front. So you have 10 and 20 is 30, and 30 is 60. So 160. This is, we got 30 and 25 is 55, and 15 is 70, 80,000 on a $45,000 investment. And what did we say this was? 160 on a $90,000 investment. Okay, so 90,000 less 10,000 is 80,000. Less 20,000 is 60,000. So we know that the payback is faster in problem A, or cash flow or project A. Less 30,000 is 30,000, and then 30,000 divided by 100,000 equals 0.3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3.3 years. Okay, 3.3 years. Project. 90 minus 10 is 80, 60, 30. Yeah, 3.3 years. let's go to question 5. What are the disadvantages and the advantages of the payback method? Rest my weary bones. So it is easy to calculate the payback method, and it is easy to understand the payback method, but it does not take time value of money or risk into consideration, and it ignores cash flows after the payback period, so it does not provide how much value is created or destroyed. So the payback method does not meet the criteria or standards listed in question 2. What three things must a good capital budgeting technique address? And payback does not address those 3 things. Question 6. What does the net present value measure, and what is the decision rule regarding the net present value? The net present value measures the difference between the present value of the cost of a project and the present value of the cash inflows generated by a project. The difference between the cash inflows and the cash outflows, or the present value of the cash inflows and the cash outflows, is how much value a project creates. So the purpose of a project, the purpose of any investment is to generate a return. And a return is the cash inflow divided by the cash outflow. All right, so the net present value is the dollar amount of cash inflow minus cash outflow. All right, compute the net present value for both projects in question 4. And the cost of capital, or your IY, is 15%. All right, so we have our cash flows. So let's go ahead and erase this. I didn't mean to do that. Put this boundary in here. So we have A and we have B. Let's fill this back in. 90,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and 100,000. All right. So we're going to have to use the cash flow keys to compute the net present value. So NPV for A, CFO is equal to minus 45,000. So let's go ahead and put this over here. CFO, make it easy. CFO, enter down arrow. CO1, enter down arrow. CO2, enter down arrow. CO3, enter down arrow. CO4, enter down arrow. Okay. FO1, 2, 3, and 4 is 1, so you down arrow through it to get to the next cash flow. Once you put in your last cash flow and you hit enter, down arrow, and down arrow, you then say NPV I equals 15, enter, down arrow, and compute, and you should get $570.82. That is how much value is created by project A. Now let's look at project B. So this is CF0, CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4, okay? All right, so you have to clear your calculator out. Make sure that when you're in the cash flow keys, you can scroll the down arrow 3 times consecutively, and everything is 0, and now you're back at CF0. So CF0 is 90,000 plus minus, enter down arrow. CO1, 10,000, enter down arrow, down arrow. CO2, 20,000, enter, down arrow, down arrow. CO3 is 30,000, enter, down arrow, and down arrow. And CO4 is 100,000, enter, down arrow, down arrow. And NPV, I equals 15, enter, down arrow, and compute, and you should get $10,719. And so you do project A because it creates more dollar value of net present value than project B does. Okay? All right, let's see. Is that it for... That's it for homework 1. Yay, we're finished with homework 1. All right, let's take a brief break, wrap your brain around this, and we'll come back and do homework 2. Shalom.